Hi, and welcome to Car Tips, brought to you by the members of the Automotive Service Association of Michigan. How important is stopping distance to you? Today we're going to take a few minutes to talk about brakes. Every week we read about brake specials, but how informed are we as consumers to pick what is the best bargain? We'll come back to these ads in just a few. As a consumer, we look at brake pads and they all appear to look the same, have the same thickness, etc. Depending on the vehicle, the pads may be one solid pad like the one on the right, or split in the middle like the one on the left, or some other configuration, but basically looking the same whether they are made by the vehicle manufacturer or another supplier. But are all pads the same? Materials used to make brake pads today currently are divided into three areas: organic, semi-metallic, and ceramic. The prices may vary between these three pads along with their characteristics. For example, some might provide less brake dust. In other words, if you've driven all week and you look at your wheels on a weekend, they might have like a grimy dirt to them. That's a result of the materials used on your brake pads normally. In addition, some brakes may be quieter than others, but the important thing to know is their braking power. So do they all perform the same? The answer here will surprise you, and that is a resounding no. When a vehicle is being made, there are certain requirements that must be met before the vehicle can ever leave the assembly line when it comes to brakes. The unfortunate thing is, after the vehicle is sold and driven, these same stringent requirements from the assembly line no longer apply when having the brakes serviced later on, meaning your car may not stop the same. Back in 2004, Mazda had a third-party independent study done overseas on brakes. Now, for the sake of this chart, I have converted it to miles per hour, but you can see that at 37.282 miles per hour, that non-genuine brakes increase stopping distance between 14 and 20%. Though we have a few highways here in the United States that will allow us, if you look at 80.778 miles per hour, you can see that at higher speeds, it increased stopping distance between 20 and 55%. Now, let me be clear about this as it applies today. Just as there are brake pads both from the vehicle manufacturer and other suppliers that meet or exceed the standards placed on the original vehicle when it was on the assembly line, so too are there brake pads available from the vehicle manufacturer and other suppliers that may not. You need to ask questions, and more importantly, you need to know that a quality brake pad will cost you more. Now let's take a look at one vehicle and its stopping distances. Basically, in this study, they factored in the time that it takes an average human being to process the need for stopping. They concluded that on average, for every mile per hour, it requires 1 foot of travel to process. Now keep in mind the vehicle's in motion. So at 30 miles per hour, it takes 30 feet for the average person to process the need to stop, and then another 45 feet of braking to make the total stopping distance 75 feet. Let's take a look at 60 miles an hour. 60 feet has been traveled by the time the average person has processed the need to stop, and then another 180 feet is required for this particular vehicle to stop, to brake, meaning that the actual stopping distance is 240 feet. So if we apply the results of the study done by Mazda, let's look at what happens at 30 miles per hour, which is a little faster than most residential areas. At 30 miles an hour, an additional 10% stopping distance could mean another 7.5 feet. Or, worst case scenario, 50% would be another 37.5 feet. What would happen if we were looking at 60 miles an hour? Well, at 60 miles an hour, that could mean the difference between 24 to 120 additional feet needed to stop your car. And when we are trying, or shall I say in reality, when we need to stop, do we really have that much extra distance to stop? Any extra distance could mean the difference between life or death for you, your family, or someone else's. So now let's take a look at these ads and what we've learned from these last few slides and apply them to the ads. If you look at the lower left here, you'll see that they actually are telling us there's a difference between brake pads. On the left ad, they're talking about quality pads or shoes on the left. On the right, they're talking about premium pads or shoes. In the upper right ad, they're saying free premium pads on the shoes for their ad to the left, or $20 off an economy brake special. And if you come down even to that one on the bottom right, lifetime warranty brakes starting at $89.99. So they're telling you in each of these ads there is a difference. The important thing is to keep everyone safe. Choose your brake pads on stopping distance, not on price. And remember, you will get what you pay for. To us, your family, and someone else's is definitely worth the extra price. And one last tip. Make sure you go to a licensed repair facility or a business that is performing the work is licensed by the state of Michigan. It protects you in many ways. And we know a few consumers that were caught in less favorable situations because the shop wasn't licensed, which turned into a lengthy nightmare. Months without a car in one instance, or in a couple of instances, loss of a vehicle for a long period of time because the insurance company did not cover loss when there was a fire because it was at a shop that was illegal. The repair facility will have the letter F followed by 6 digits, and it's renewed every year. 2. Make sure that the technician that's performing the repairs is licensed to do those operations. And both of these licenses will always be on display in the consumer area at your repair facility. Now the mechanic's license will look something like this. And there is an expiration date to all the licenses that are issued. So look for these when you're at a repair facility. Who we are. We're the Automotive Service Association of Michigan, and we have been representing the independent automotive repair industry since 1934. Though our association represents the automotive repairer, indirectly for consumers, we make sure that the facility you choose operates by a code of ethics and integrity. For example, the association checks the validity of all members for the repair facility licenses, and not only when they become a member, but every year that they renew as well, always making sure that they are properly serving the community. They abide by a code of ethics and have integrity. Now, it's one thing to be close to home and have a service work done on your vehicle with someone that you know and trust, but what happens if you're traveling around the state or even the country and your vehicle breaks down? ASA Michigan is proud to say that we have a convenient shop locator for you to use. Go back to the website, and it's brought to you by the members of the Automotive Service Association of Michigan, and click on Locate an ASA Professional Repair Facility today by clicking this link. When you do that, it automatically takes you to this page. It'll pop up, and then at that point it says find a repair facility close to where you are. Whether you're in Michigan, New York, Florida, or Texas, we've got you covered. And just in case, the list is populated with both collision and mechanical repair facilities. So if you are in Orlando and someone backs into your car, we can help you get that taken care of. Just put in the city, state, and zip code, and then click search. This has been Car Tips, brought to you by the members of the Automotive Service Association of Michigan. We hope that you will take this to heart and make decisions accordingly. Have a great day and safe braking.